There's something about a good ghost story, right? Whether it's whispered around a campfire or you're scrolling through one late at night on your phone, they just have this incredible power to get under your skin. But what is it, really, about the horror stories we see today, especially online, that makes them so dang effective? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and take a deep dive into the anatomy of fear itself.
And we're going to answer that big question. What makes a good horror story? By dissecting two really popular Hindi horror tales. One is about a cursed village with a terrifying mirror, and the other is about a bus you do not want to be on after midnight. By looking at them side by side, we're going to uncover the hidden blueprints, the common ingredients that make these stories so terrifyingly good. So, here's our roadmap. First, we'll get to know the characters who pull us into these nightmares. Then, we're going to explore the cursed places they get trapped in. After that, we'll pinpoint that exact heart-stopping moment where reality completely shatters. And finally, we'll put all the pieces together to reveal a surprisingly simple but powerful formula for modern horror.
All right, let's dive right in. First up, the characters. A great horror story often gets its tension by throwing completely different personality types into a terrifying situation. And that creates this classic, powerful dynamic. You've got the brave one versus the scared one, the curious versus the cautious.
And this first story illustrates that conflict perfectly. We've got Maya, the writer. She is literally drawn to the danger. Her curiosity is what drives the whole story forward. She hears about a cursed mirror, and her first thought isn't run away, it's we have to see it. And then you have her friend Ravi. He's the voice of reason. He's basically us. He feels the bad vibes right away and just wants to go back to the safety of a cafe. It's that push and pull between them that hooks you right in.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. We meet another key character type. I call him the Warner. It's the old villager who gives this super cryptic but absolutely vital warning. It's basically the horror movie equivalent of someone saying, "Whatever you do, don't go into the basement." He spells out the stakes. This mirror shows you something true about yourself that will break you. And of course, for a curious person like Maya, that's not a warning, it's an invitation.
Okay, so the second story uses a slightly different setup. Here, our main guy, Tushar, isn't looking for danger at all. He's just a normal dude, tired after a long day, trying to get home. He's the unwitting victim. He stumbles into the horror completely by accident. And his guide into this nightmare? Another cryptic warner, the old man on the bus who drops this absolute bombshell on him. After midnight, no human dares to board. Yikes. And unlike Maya, Tushar is all alone with that chilling thought.
So, we've got our characters, but where the horror really takes hold is in the setting itself. In these stories, the location isn't just a place where things happen, it's practically a character all on its own. But as you're about to see, not all hauntings are the same. First up, we have what you could call an active curse. This is what's going on in the village of Shantipur. This isn't just a creepy old place with a ghost hanging around. No, the force here is smart. It's malicious, and it's tied to that mirror. It actively works to lure people in, create these elaborate illusions, to trap them. The village itself is basically a predator. And you feel this atmosphere through the locals. They aren't rolling out the welcome mat, they're terrified. The warnings they give are just so chilling, like when the guest house keeper says, "The walls of this village have things to say." It just reinforces this idea that the place is alive, that it's watching, and that the villagers are just as much prisoners as our heroes are about to become. Now, let's compare that to the second type of haunting, the residual haunting. This is what's happening on the bus. It doesn't seem to be driven by some evil intelligence. Instead, it's more like a recording of a horrible accident that's just stuck on a loop, playing over and over again. It's a passive echo of a tragedy, and poor Tushar just happened to buy a ticket for the playback. And the things Tushar sees feel exactly like that, these bizarre, disconnected fragments of that tragic recording. One minute the bus is full, the next it's empty, but it never stopped. He sees ghostly figures just appear and then vanish, an old man smoking, a passenger with a horrifying head injury. It's not a coordinated attack on him, it's just this chaotic, terrifying replay of the past, and he's stuck right in the middle of it. Okay, so we've got our characters and our haunted places, but the most powerful, goosebump-inducing moment in both of these stories is the twist. It's that one terrifying moment where everything the main character, and by extension us, the audience, thought was real is just completely and violently ripped away. So for Maya, the first crack in her reality appears when she finally looks into that cursed mirror. She sees her reflection, but it's not quite her. The reflection's eyes are red. It's the first major clue that the world she's in is not what it seems. And it's just brilliant foreshadowing for the massive reveal that's coming.
So let's just set the stage for that reveal. Despite all the weird warnings and creepy vibes, the characters believe they are in a real, living village. They've talked to people, they're staying in a guest house, it all feels solid and tangible. This is their reality.
And then the floor just drops out from under them. They run outside and the entire village is gone. It's been replaced by ancient, crumbling ruins. The people, the buildings, everything. It was all a highly sophisticated illusion created by the mirror to trap them. Their entire experience was a complete and total lie.
Now, over to the bus story. Tushar's perception is a bit simpler, but it's just as grounded in logic. Yeah, he's scared, he's seeing some really spooky stuff, but at the end of the day, he believes he's on a physical, moving bus that's taking him home. I mean, why would he think otherwise? But when he finally makes the terrifying decision to jump off, and he turns back to look, the reality is revealed. The thing he was just riding in is a half-burnt, mangled wreck of a bus, and inside it's filled with the silent, ghostly victims of the crash. He wasn't riding a bus. He was riding inside the memory of a disaster.
So when you break it all down, piece by piece, a really clear pattern starts to emerge. These two stories, they feel different on the surface, sure, but they are built on the exact same foundation. So let's lay out that secret recipe.
It all boils down to this 4-step formula. 1. You start with a cryptic warning that gets totally ignored. 2. You anchor the horror to a specific cursed object or place, like a mirror or a bus. 3. You use a fearful, skeptical character to confirm for us that the danger is real. And 4. You finish with a mind-bending twist that reveals the protagonist's world was a complete illusion all along.
And why does this formula work so well? It's because it taps into our deepest anxieties. It attacks our trust in our own senses and suggests that our reality is way more fragile than we think. It creates this amazing conflict between modern logical thinking and ancient supernatural curses. The hero's own curiosity becomes their downfall, and that final, shocking twist is what makes the story stick with you long after you've finished it.
Which leaves us with one last kind of haunting question to think about. We've taken apart the formula, we've seen how these stories are built to scare us, but it makes you wonder, are stories like these really just stories, or are they maybe reflecting a much deeper, more primal fear that what we see, what we touch, what we believe to be real could shatter in an instant?